Supporters here at the Madejski Stadium watching Reading take on unbeaten top of the table Manchester United here in the early kickoff today in the Women's Super League. Leah Galton, the goal scorer, is the player who separates the two sides at the moment. A left-footed strike that Grace Maloney in the Reading goal got a glove to, but couldn't stop it from going in. Emma Harries, who has started today in the place of Danielle Carter, making her first start for Reading. And it will be the home side that get us off and underway for this second half. The referee, Helen Conley, to get us underway, and Jane Ludlow with me for commentary. And just hearing at half-time from Siobhan Chamberlain talking about how physical she expected this game to be, and I suppose that's what we saw in that first 45. Decent cross in early for Reading on their right-hand side.
Yeah, going back to the question you've asked, yeah, definitely physical, good tempo. Oh, what an opportunity!
Oh, that could be a real chance from Tash Harding at close range. Gives a thumbs up for the chance that was made for her. It was James who played it in, and it just bounced in front of her, and I'm not sure if she knew a great deal about it, but still tried to turn it towards Mary Earps in the Manchester United goal. Looking up skywards there, Jane.
Yeah, that was an opportunity.
What might have been.
Yeah, good opportunity for Tash there.
Does, though, mean a corner for the hosts very early in this second half. And it's curled straight into the side netting. And we've seen a couple of bad corners from two exemplary players. Obviously, Farrah Williams there in the first half from Tobin Heath.
Yes, deliveries to forget for both of them, to be fair. Look, it's quite a hard skill because they're trying to curl the ball in right on the goalkeeper by the looks of it with both setups. But yes, disappointing from her.
Mary Earps, who hadn't been too busy in the first 45. I'm sure that those home supporters will be hoping that that doesn't remain the case in this second half. Harries is harassing. Dealt with by United. The ball finds its way into the Reading half. A line, though, of blue and white shirts, ensuring it doesn't go much further forward than it did. Ball with Ladd forward to 2. It's a vital block at the back by Liner, and then forward by Cooper. Comes off ahead and drops behind Casey Stoney. I wonder what she said to her team at half-time, Jane.
Well, look, I'm sure she'll be relatively happy, obviously, being a goal up and taking the opportunity near the end of the first half. But I'm sure she'll want more too, because I think there's been times where they've let Reading in too easily, and maybe they're not exploited enough, the Reading back four either, when there's space to use against them.
Referee's assistant with his flag raised. Means throw-in for Lily Woodham to take. Thought it was going to drop kindly for Farrah Williams, but United will try and mop up. Toon looks forwards. It's a ball for Hansen to chase, maybe asking a bit too much of her, but saying that, she is able to collect. Trying to stop her is Cooper as the ball comes into midfield. It was just behind Gronan. And so Reading can take it forward. forward, picked up though by Smith on United's far side, and eventually will drop out of play for a throw-in for Lina, short from her to Bartrip, a player who's been at Reading for such a long time. Of course, these Man United players, this team sort of reformed 2 years ago. A lot of them were youth players at Manchester United, had to go off to seek senior opportunities, but then returning to this Manchester United side that won to get promoted last season, finished fourth in that season that ended early in the Women's Super League, of course, due to the coronavirus last season, and now they are top of the table. With Galton with a low ball in, stopped by Cooper, and it looks as if the goal scorer, Jane Ludlow, might have sustained an injury. She stayed down here and she looks in a little bit of discomfort as eventually the ball is rolled out of play, so she can possibly receive some treatment. And, well, this doesn't look good. She's holding a left ankle and looks in some pain, Jane.
Yeah, there seemed to be a bit of late contact from Lina, who's obviously gone over to see if she's all right. So I'm not sure if there was any intent in it. But look, she's gone past her ear. She gets her delivery in. And there's just, yeah, she's clipped the back of her heel by the look of it, hasn't she, as she slid in to try and stop the cross. But you can see Leah Galton doing well again to get past the defender. But hopefully she'll manage to stay on the pitch from this.
So does require some medical attention for her.
Yeah, look, it's a full-hearted challenge in a sense to stop the delivery. She's obviously caught Leah Galton in the end. I'm not sure how much intent there is, but you know, if we think back to earlier in the game, I'm sure Lina's already got a yellow card.
She has, yeah.
So
she got that, in fact, quite early. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be looked at slightly differently, which is, I'm guessing, why Casey Stoney's asking the question of the fourth official right now.
So is this enough, we wonder, the challenge on Galton for a second yellow card?
Oh, you've seen him given, haven't you, to challenges like that? Intent or no intent, the fact that she's connected as the ball has left the player's foot, you know, she's a lucky girl right now.
Well, Helen Conley is the referee, and Leah Galton will step off the pitch, as she will have to do after getting that medical attention, but it looks as if she's happy to continue. Little back heel from Williams again, gets the ball back from Harris, just away from Fishlock. Gronin goes to ground. Loose ball, though, is collected by her, and she will look up for options in front of her. Toon to her left. A little further out there is Galton, having recovered from that knock to her ankle. Smith on the overlap. Coming in field, though, is Galton. Reading players back in numbers. And Bartrip will clear. Hansen trying to turn this ball forward, will get it again for United on their left, and the block out from Lina means another corner for Manchester United.
Yeah, and the game's gone in a way that we expected from the off. You know, we did say the fullbacks for Reading are going to have a game today. They're going to have a lot to do. And, you know, we've seen Lina in picture a lot, haven't we, today? You know, she's making some good decisions. She's made some harsh challenges at times, but it is panning out. You know, it's a difficult game for the Reading fullbacks against this attack from Man United.
Heath with another corner for the team, leading by a goal to nil at the moment. It's an outswinger. It finds the back of her head before Reading can take it back to almost the halfway line. To Gronin. And a ball forward to Galton, who's come across to this near side, trying to get around Bartlett, might drop kindly. This could be an opportunity for Hansen at close range. Maybe the angle just getting too tight for her, aware of a Reading player at her shoulder. Now it's Galton who will play it across the 6-yard box. Toon to chase.
Well, look, the red shirts are effective, aren't they, when they get in those 1v1 situations just outside the box. And we've seen again on the right-hand side, Leah Galton doing it against Lily Woodham in that moment. And, you know, from a Reading defensive perspective, they probably need to be stronger in those areas right now. And again, we're seeing the trend here. Look, Leah Galton on the right-hand side, up against Lily Woodham. Can she do better? No, unfortunately not.
Still with Galton, and well, she went for a shot at the near post. She had teammates in there too, but the goal scorer, as you say, in that battle with Lily Woodham.
Yeah, and look, she's one of my youngsters in the Welsh national team, and she's one heck of a player. But, you know, defensively, she needs to learn how to defend against these top-level players in wide areas, because they love a 1v1 situation. They're going to enjoy those moments, and the person we're looking at right now, Leah Galton, is one of the best in the trade at doing those things very well.
Harding at the other end, another Welsh international on view. And speaking of which, a touch from Fishlock on its way into Williams, holding off Man United attentions, comes off Fishlock, as there's a deflection on its way in, and Millie Turner touches it past her own goalkeeper. Fishlock with the shot, came off Millie Turner, past Mary Earps, and an equaliser that makes it Reading 1, Manchester United 1.
And we're in for a game now, the last 35 minutes. Well, look, Farrah Williams does well to hold off two defenders here. The ball's actually played, I believe, by a red shirt into Jess Fishlock. And then obviously she tried to slide it through. But look, great in the end. It's come off a red shirt, but Reading will accept that. Jess Fishlock, I'm sure, will enjoy that moment. And look, she's trying to just thread it through to Harries, I believe. But look, unfortunately for Man United, they've got the end touch on it, and it's gone past Mary Earps.
Well, she ran away and celebrated that, understandably. Crowd enjoying that. Scoring her first goal of this season in the Women's Super League for players on loan from OL Reign. I should call her Jess Fishlock MBE, shouldn't I, really, Jane?
Yes, and depending what mood she's in, she would appreciate that or not, to be fair.
I think it's well deserved. If you win these honours, you should be recognised. Well, that kind of, well, I wouldn't say it came out of nothing necessarily, Jane, but I think we're rather surprised maybe by the nature of that equaliser, just because it was sort of Millie Turner who, you know, I don't think she knew a great deal about it as it spun off her and past Earps. It does mean, though, as you say, that it's very much game on here.
Yeah, well, look, you can look at it from both sides, can't you? Reading will be pleased that's actually gone in the back of the net. A bit fortunate, but it highlighted again, you know, they get numbers in central areas quickly and can be very effective at times. Farrah Williams, Jess Fishlock combining and obviously getting the reward from it. But from a Manchester United perspective, I'm sure, looking at Casey Stoney here, she would have expected better from her backline and goalkeeper organisation there, just to make slightly different decisions.
Well, there might perhaps be some changes made. Temptation to change things, perhaps. So, heading towards the hour mark in this game. And there will be a change made by Manchester United. Lucy Staniforth, the player who is coming on. And we will wait to see who she comes on to replace, with just over half an hour to play here. And her James just on the heels of Ladd. So did you teach them that, Jane?
Oh, has it? Has normally actually pinches the ball, to be fair to her, but I'm not sure how much contact there was with Hayley there. But two teammates going up against each other.
Heath behind this free kick. It's dealt with easily by a Reading head. Goinan forwards. Still danger for Reading. Hansen leaves for Toon, back out to Hansen again. Poked away by the home sides. And another tussle in midfield. Eventually, Amy Turner will turn it back to her goalkeeper. Will clear it back up the pitch for Smith to run onto.
What a great touch that was by Kirsty Smith to, you know, lend it out to Leah Galton, and here she is again.
So Galton with the goal for Manchester United, and Jess Fishlock equaliser going in off Millie Turner, so an own goal for Millie Turner to give Reading their equaliser. And the change that is being made is that Lucy Staniforth is coming on, and Ella Toon is the player who's coming off. Of course, you had identified Jane as a player to watch this afternoon, but she's being replaced by Lucy Staniforth, her 7th substitute appearance.
Yeah, and look, good substitute to come in, very experienced. You know, Staniforth played at this level for a very long time, obviously England national team player. We're just looking at Ella Toon now. She'll be probably a little bit disappointed to come off the pitch today. You know, she's had good impact at times. She's found pockets of space just in front of that Reading backline, but, you know, at times the game might have passed her by. You know, look, at the end of the day, they have a squad of players that will be, you know, there'll be 11 chosen to take the pitch each game by Casey Stoney, but I'm sure, you know, she's got a squad of over 20 players that are very similar levels of what they can give you, and slightly different strengths, and it's about, you know, the manager's choice of what she's seeing in the game right now, and there may be an area that she's looking at and she thinks Lucy Staniforth can come in and make a big impact in this.
Amy Turner bringing down Emma Harris, who's holding on to her right ankle, and the referee will come across and perhaps have to make a decision about reaching into her pockets again. And well, it is Helen Connolly who's having a chat with Amy Turner, and it is a yellow card shown to the Manchester United captain. And I don't think there's any doubt, is there, that she required a booking there, Jane?
No, look, as soon as you make that tackle, especially when you go to ground, coming from behind a player, it's always going to earn you a book in this day and age.
So Lucy Staniforth, former Birmingham City, new signing for Manchester United this season, the England international. And Bartrip bringing down Galton there.
It's definitely turned into the physical encounter I think everybody was expecting.
Yes, the physicality we've been talking about in this game is coming to pass, as Molly Bartrip is the latest player to be shown a yellow card by the referee.
Yeah, and you can just see, look, she's got both hands on her, pulling her back at one point, so always going to be a free kick to the opponent in that moment.
Aware of that threat from a Manchester United player who is behind this free kick now. It's a punch by Maloney, and well, I think Reading did well to stop that dropping out for a corner. It's a short throw in the end. Eikeland, line of forwards. Back with United. The block though is by Fishlock, and now she's on a run with Turner. Still racing forward is Fishlock. It's support from Farrell Williams, but couldn't quite get the cross in. Turner just did her job. Comes back to James though this time. Deflected on its way to Fishlock. Turner is there again and will hack it away, Amy Turner, and into the stands.
Well, that was an interesting passage of play. Mistake here from Amy Turner in the first instance, but and a great run from Jess. But look at Amy Turner's recovery run. Great tackle in the box to make sure she comes out with the ball. But then after that, she ends up giving it back to the hoops. And look, good opportunities there for Reading. Good recovery defending as well from Manchester United. But an interesting passage of play there.
Really important efforts there for... from Amy Turner to stop those chances. That made her 50th appearance for Manchester United in that 2-2 draw recently against Manchester City. That comeback for Manchester United. The player wearing the captain's armband for the visiting side. Drop out for Mary Earps to collect. So 1-1 here at the moment. This a familiar scoreline for Kelly Chambers Reading.
Yes, if you were a betting person, you'd have probably put your money on that today, wouldn't you? And interesting to see if it does stay like this now for the rest of the game. Obviously, you mentioned earlier it's a scoreline that they've ended up going away from games with a lot recently.
Bartrip turns it back to Maloney. Galton was advancing on the Reading keeper.
Well, she's caused them problems all day long, hasn't she, Leah Galton? Obviously got a goal, but it is very busy in and around that Reading backline, causing lots and lots of problems for them today.
It's with her out to Smith. Minor denies United the chance of a cross, and then Eikeland take it out off a United touch for a throw-in in the Reading right-back position. So they have seen their sides peg back Manchester United here at the Madejski Stadium. Will these Reading fans be witnessing Manchester United's first defeat of this season? Started this game just a point ahead of Arsenal in the Women's Super League table, both of the sides having played 8 games so far.
Just looking at Tobin Heath, she's a player that we'd want, you know, if you're a fan of Man United, a fan of the game, you'd want to see her on the ball more today, wouldn't you? Obviously, she's doing a lot of work defensively for her team. She's had a couple of opportunities to be effective with the ball, but probably not as much as many people would have liked, especially those who are fans of the red shirts right now. Yes,
there's a Man United badge on that gentleman's hat. Maybe it's a cliche because it's true that they're everywhere, Man United fans. I think we've just had Christmas jumper day, isn't it, for charity? I don't know if he was told that was Friday rather than this Sunday, but looking very festive in his elf costume, and a few bells on there as well, so he wouldn't be able to creep up on you. Baja with a throw-in, comes back to her again for another throw-in for United on their right, and a little tug by Heath on Bartrip, and I don't think she can complain, the American international, that the referee has given the ball back to Reading. Reading with a game away against Brighton next Sunday. Manchester United home against Bristol City next for them in the Women's Super League. Two other games in the Women's Super League kicking off at 2 o'clock. This was our early kick-off on this Sunday afternoon. Being chased by Hansen. Hansen into the area, holds off her marker and liner. And, well, a player who has already been booked in this game is possibly living dangerously, Jane Ludlow.
Well, I'm surprised Hansen hasn't gone down here if there is contact, which there definitely is. But look, to be fair to her, she stayed up. She thinks she has an opportunity to still create a goal-scoring opportunity. But look, I think we're looking at a player right now who's probably a little bit lucky to still be on the pitch. But hey-oh, if you're her, you keep playing, you keep tackling hard.
Well, I wonder if she thinks I've managed to get away with this so far. So even though I've only had that one yellow card. Should I have potentially had another? Will Manchester United wonder if they should be playing against 10 players here at the moment? We're heading into the last 20 minutes of the match. And United preparing to make their second change of the game. It will be another attacking player who's coming on in a moment. Smith trying to get to the ball before Harris. And I think this might be an opportunity to make the substitution. So Jane Ross, the player who is coming on, the Scottish international, and it's Kirsty Hansen who she will replace. So Jane, attacking player for attacking player.
Yes, obviously change of personnel, maybe see some tactical changes now as the game progresses. But yeah, it's funny because it was only, what is it, a couple of minutes ago we were looking at Hansen driving into the box with that potential penalty opportunity missed there.
Maybe giving the Reading right back a new fresh pair of legs to contend with.
I'm sure it'll be a talking point after the game, especially if the result stays that it is.
I was going
right
to say,
now.
it very much depends on the result, doesn't it? Yes. But she has been certainly busy and a vital part of this game as far as Reading is concerned. Flicks off the head of Millie Turner in the United defence. Was back to Maloney, picked up by Bartrip. Comes to Fishlock. Up to James. James's ball forward is collected by Lads. But Reading get the ball back again, out to Harding. Harding turning around Turner, still with Harding, and I think plays it out for a corner for the home side. I think the home fans will be pleased with what they just saw there. And the Reading manager certainly as well, as two arms raised by Farrah Williams. lots of players around Mary Earps, and it's a short corner played to Eichland, blocked by Smith, and then launched forward again by Reading, but Galton will try and stretch away, just behind Ross, and now two players clattering into each other. One of them is Kirsty Smith, Eichland for Reading as well. And Kirsty Smith stays down and slowly gets back to her feet.
Interesting to watch this back. Oh, look, both players have got eyes on the ball, but obviously Kirsty Smith's got a high knee there, hasn't she, going in, and Eichland's ending up using her head, so obviously that was always going to come off a bit, with one of them a bit worse for wear. Thankfully, both up and playing again.
As you say, eyes on the ball. One went for their head and one with a leg. Recovery quick from both of them, saying that, Jane, so seemed okay as it rolls and ends up in the side netting from Deanna Cooper, who was in nosebleed territory there, really, for her.
A great opportunity for Reading again here. Good delivery in, and obviously nobody's made that early first contact. I think that's just gone straight through, and then Deanna Cooper ended up with a left foot strike, and probably not a centre-back you want in that position, to be fair to her, but she tries to get a shot on target, not quite managing it.
Former Chelsea player Cooper. New signing to this Reading side this season. Just under 15 minutes left with Woodham forward to Harding.
And Reading are just managing to get a foothold in the game again now, aren't they? And they've getting some good moments of possession and causing this Man United defensive organisation some problems. You could see just on the last passage where Man United midfielders are pointing to each other, trying to organise, but they're not managing to get close enough to people to affect passes being made by these Reading midfielders right now. One player in particular who seems to be pulling the strings is Jess Fishlock.
I think we might be expecting Reading to make their first change of the game shortly. I might leave it to you, Jane, to tell us all about her when she comes on, as it goes out off Woodham for a throw-in for Batjer. I hope I'm saying that slightly right. It's definitely not Battle, by the way.
I'm sure your Spanish pronunciation with your accent is far better than mine. Well, yes, look, Rachel Rowe, fantastic stalwart of our national team, great player for us, can play in multiple positions, so I wouldn't guess right now which position she's coming in at. She can play as a fullback, very effective. She can play as a central midfielder, very effective, and she recently played as a centre forward and scored a very good goal in our national team, so we will see who she replaces.
As you say, my notes on her say versatile, winger, forward, fullback, so we won't try and predict who she might be replacing.
Yeah, and the next few words should say very tough player, very competitive.
With Galton, cuts it into the 6-yard box. Oh, this could have been a chance for Ross at close range. Bartrip was between her and Maloney. And, well, it came to Ross at very close range, but Bartrip was just behind her. The goalkeeper for Reading there as well. So, even though it was very, very close to the Reading goal, she just had too many bodies to go through, I would say there, Jane.
Yeah, goalmouth scramble again. Good opportunity for Manchester United, not quite getting the end product, but as we see her, it's bouncing around, isn't it? And Jane Ross managing to get a shot off, I believe, in the end. But good opportunity for the Reds, but not managing to beat Grace Maloney in that instance.
A good block, but Lucy Staniforth now requiring some medical attention. One of the Manchester United substitutes in need of some medical attention. And so Eikeland coming off, and Rachel Rowe is the player who comes on for her. And I suppose what I was going to ask you, Jane, is depending on who Rachel Rowe came on for would suggest what Kelly Chambers is hoping to achieve with this game. I suppose if she'd come in a more... do we need to now wait to see where she actually ends up playing on the pitch, do you think, Jane, just in terms of whether or not Kelly Chambers is thinking about having a more defensive lineup for the last 10 minutes?
Look, firstly, I hope Staniforth's okay, because obviously she's come on as a substitute and now she's having to go off, so hopefully that's nothing to be too concerned about. But she is upset, so obviously something that's not great right now.
She's clearly in some pain, isn't she?
Yeah, and look, from a Reading perspective, it's definitely an attacking change, I would have thought, because looking how the last 10-15 minutes of this game has gone, it has been a bit end-to-end, but Reading are definitely pushing their way back into this game. So I'm sure Kelly Chambers has looked at it and gone, look, we can try and get something from this. I'll just have a look at organisation now to confirm where Rachel Rowe is actually playing. But I believe this is her just going to challenge Kirsty Smith on left-hand side. So it looks like she's playing in that kind of 10 role, kind of top of diamond role in how they've set up today.
So Lucy Staniforth having come on, having to come off after that injury. And so Katie Zellum has come on, the club captain for Manchester United. She's been unfortunate as far as England is concerned, hasn't she, Katie Zellum? I think got one call up and had to withdraw because she had coronavirus. And then obviously England's most recent training camp weren't able to play their opponents again because of the coronavirus regulations.
Yes, they've had disrupted moments, haven't they, as a national team?
I think sadly it is has been the nature of 2020 somewhat, hasn't it? We're into the last 10 minutes here. 1-1 at the moment. Man United goal scorer on the left-hand side. Wondering if Heath is becoming slightly more central in these latter stages of the game, Jane.
Well, look, I'm really looking forward to this last 10 minutes because I think there's a goal in this game. I'm just not sure which end is going to come.
Well, it might well be in, and as you say that, it is Manchester United who go back ahead here, and it is through the head of Hayley Ladd. The ball dropping in from the right-hand side, found Hayley Ladd to head it in with 8 minutes left here at the Madejski. It is Reading 1, Manchester United 2.
Well, what a prediction. I knew there was a goal coming, but now I'd go, is there any more coming? Look, and it's really nice for me sitting here as Welsh national team manager to see the person who's ended up getting the goal, and that's Hayley Ladd, who's more renowned for her defensive capabilities than her goal scoring, to be fair. But look, first contact, I believe, was from a Reading player in this instance, and it hasn't cleared the box. It's obviously gone straight to the head of a red shirt, which is something they wouldn't have wanted. But what a great moment if you're a Man United fan right now. But 10 minutes left, can Reading get back in this?
Her first goal of this league season. Manchester United Player of the Year last year in her first season after joining the club, Hayley Ladd, and putting Manchester United back ahead here with just over 6 minutes left of the 90. Just seeing Casey Stoney there, and I wonder if any slight concerns she had might be alleviated. Probably not just yet, Jane, I would say.
No, because look, this has been a really good contest today, and it's gone from end to end, and there's been moments where you know, both teams could have gone ahead far earlier than they have managed to do so. So it's been a good contest, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the game because I'm sure it'll continue to be.
Not over yet. Groenen holds up the ball, gives it to Zellum. Now it's inside the box with Galton again. liner at her shoulder. Maybe that one of the better challenges she's made in this second half.
One of the less physical ones. But look, Leah Golden's done really well. She seems to be a player that loves to just face a defender up and go in that 1v1 moment, and she generally comes out with the positive end of it.
So Farrah Williams, the latest player to be replaced, and it's Lauren Bruton who is coming on. Scored in home wins against Villa, away against West Ham. So comes on for some fresh attacking legs with 5 minutes left to play. I suppose that is Kelly Chambers' only option, isn't it, really, to, you know, that they are trailing by 2-1 at the moment, Jane.
Yeah, look, I think they've been in this game all the way through. Obviously, the goal they've scored was a bit lucky, but they've done enough to deserve that. But look, they would want more from this. They want at least a point from this game with the performance they've put in. But obviously, from a Man United perspective, they're top of the table. They're a hard outfit to beat. And when you see, you know, they can score goals in various ways. You know, we've seen a set play goal, we've seen a great transition and a quick attack, and they're a tough team to play against.
Harding versus Amy Turner. Bajou to take the throw in. Wooden.
Great touch by Lily Woodham there, and you know that highlights why, as a young player, she's doing well in this environment. Her attacking play is fantastic, really good technician. As we mentioned earlier, the defensive side of the game is an area she can keep developing, but she's had a great challenge in that respect today.
Scored on her debut, didn't she, for Wales? I think she scored with a header, and she said she's never scored with her head before.
Yeah, look, we generally play her a bit further up the park as more of a winger role with how we play and what we're doing right now, but she's been very effective and a really good member of the squad to have. As we're just looking at her teammate there, who's managed to get what could be the winning goal for her team today. But look, she's unmarked in the 6-yard box. And if she had missed that, I think she'd be extremely disappointed. She's put it in the back of the net, but it was probably one of the easiest opportunities she will ever have to get on the score sheet, but really pleased for her.
You still got to score them, haven't you? As easy as it might look to me, anyway. But, header to put Manchester United back ahead here with an own goal in this second half. The equaliser for Reading after Leah Galton had given United the lead. But with just a few minutes left to play, are United going to complete another win here away from home to strengthen their position at the top of the table. Will this be just the first defeat in 5 for Reading? Groenen, pass blocked, back to her again. It's a pass that is intercepted. Could come back though, and this is curling towards the Reading goal, and Jane Ross curling that into the gloves of Maloney, who had to make sure she was behind that. I wasn't sure, Jane, if she might almost step back into the Reading goal there.
Yeah, she didn't look comfortable, did she, with that flight of the ball, but she's dealt with it in the end. Good opportunity here by Jane Ross, and obviously sizing up the space to use and trying to get it over Grace Maloney. And footwork-wise, she deals with it in the end, but looks a little bit uncomfortable with how she managed to do it.
She had to make sure that even though she stepped backwards, that the ball didn't travel with her. Back with Ross again. Does she fancy another shot on target before full time? And as we head towards injury time here at the Medeski, Jane, I wonder if you could nominate your player of the match.
Well, she's actually got quite a sore face right now, and it's Leah Galton, because, look, I think big shout out for Jess Fishlock, and there's no bias, everybody, I promise, because I think she's been really effective for Reading, but I think Leah Galton has just pipped her, you know. She's obviously scored her goal herself and been part of creating the set play to get the second goal for Manchester United, and I think she's been one heck of a challenge for this backline of Reading today. She's been really, really effective for them.
Well, Reading have it with their goalkeeper. They need to clear this back up the pitch. 5 minutes of added on time. We're into that now here at the Medeski. I think largely due to a few injuries to Manchester United players, including sadly to Lucy Stanisforth, who had to come off, having come on as a substitute for United in the second half. Battle by Woodham. Did she keep the ball in play?
Well, it's been a good contest. You know, both managers would question at times whether it's probably boiled over a little bit and it's been a bit over physical, but the referee obviously hasn't seen it that way.
Yes, battle, I think, is how we can headline this match.
Yeah, because look, even that last challenge goal, Lily Woodham's actually contacted the ball, and it's a follow through with a stud that has ended up hurting, I believe it was Gronin in the end.
Yes.
And there's been a few challenges like that today, some that could have led to penalties but haven't done so. But look, it's a good battle for both teams, been a good contest, and there's still opportunities in it for Reading to try and get back in it.
There could still be time. 3.5 minutes left. Long-range free kick that the Reading goalkeeper is behind. Dealt with by United. Woodham. Cross taken away. And unsurprisingly, Jane, perhaps no red shirts inside the Reading half. Maybe happy to sit back here. I'm sure they'll take the opportunity if there's a break, but they are leading by 2-1 at the moment. And as I speak, they spread forward in numbers.
Yeah, and now, look, it's about game management for them, isn't it? Getting it into the corner, keeping ball retention as a priority and trying to keep Reading back away from their goal, obviously.
I'm not sure. Eventually the ball is given back to United. I'm not sure if Reading thought it was their throw in. This is all taking time, of course. Short to Heath. Liner at her back, and she doesn't look happy, despite the fact her team are leading by 2-1 here at the Medeski at the moment, Jane.
I'm not sure we should lip read that, because I think, yeah, viewers may have recognised who she might have been talking about there. A little bit disappointed with some of the decisions that have gone on. But I guess from both teams, you could question, could they have had more decisions given towards them? So it's, you know, it's probably 50-50 to both teams. But look, they're flying high, aren't they, Man United? And looking again to take 3 points.
Late on here, ball is with Ross, and what United are doing here now is just, when they've got the ball, just holding on to it, just ticking down that clock to full time. throwing short to Groinen, and well, challenged by Heath, and I wonder if she's going to get a late booking here. She's trying to run away from the referee, sort of looking up as if to say, what, me? I don't think I did anything there, but Tobin Heath.
Well, look, if there is a good foul, that was a good tactical one, because I think Jess Fishlock made a really good decision, drop shoulder, let the ball run past, and she was off and she was into space. So, you know, the experience that Tobin Heath has, she would have recognised that, and then all well and good to take the free kick in that end of the pitch rather than further away.
Long range free kick, late opportunity dealt with by the United defence. Tash Harding will try and throw it back onto the pitch as quickly as she possibly can. Again, it's headed away. Forward by United into that empty space. That is the Reading half of the pitch. Back again by Maloney, but the seconds are ticking away to full time here at the Madejski. Liner turns it back to Maloney. Back with Heath, and well, that was very, very close to topping off the afternoon here for United. Wide of the left-hand post and will drop out of play. Entirely up to the...
It's a good opportunity, wasn't it? To secure the 3 points, I guess. Oh, well, it might all well be over and dusted now, but look, at the end of the day, I think Tobin Heath, we'd have backed it to score in that opportunity, but Reading is still in this.
But the time has run out for the hosts. Leah Galton getting Manchester United off the mark to give the visitors the lead. It was an own goal that was the equaliser for Reading, but then a header from Hayley Ladd that means that Manchester United remain unbeaten. Another win away from home for them at the top of the table. A first defeat in 5 for Reading. It has finished Reading 1, Manchester United 2.